Today, on Starfield Essentials, I review 2 mods that add diversity to our favorite planet and to Outpost building. They are TN's Earth Biomes and Jars of Life, Placeable Biomes. I'll demonstrate each and explain why I like them. My name is Richard. Let's get started. TN's Earth Biomes. This mod by the OG Tennessee changes Earth's environment in a lore-friendly and realistic way. TN's Earth Biomes is available free on Creations and Nexus Mods. In vanilla Starfield, Earth is a uniformly boring place. The lore claims that it only took 50 years to become a wasteland. This is probably not scientifically accurate, given what scientists know about the evolution of the Martian landscape. The OG Tennessee brings a new vision to Earth. It's more of a Fallout-style wasteland and less of a uniform sand pile. Instead of total desolation, we get a planet that is dying, but not totally dead. The atmosphere is still leaking away, and radiation is still cooking the surface, but life remains. Some of it arrived on spaceships as stowaways, and some of it mutated from native species. The mod replaces generic terrain with 5 distinct regions. Wasteland. These have sand dunes with dead trees and brush. It's dry but not empty. Desolation. These are the remains of Earth's once massive oceans. You'll find stubborn pools of water and even some life. Icecaps. Like Mars, the poles are holding their ice. Because they get less sun, they've become a sheltered haven for mutated creatures. Wasted mountains. These are high-level ecosystems that offer a different vibe and fewer structural ruins. Coastal desolation. These are dried-up reefs where you'll find coral and life clinging to the last pockets of moisture. That's what's in this part of the video. Here are some other changes. Flora and fauna. There are over a dozen plants and several animal species to scan. Salvage. You'll find human habitation structures, remains, and natural resources that fit the lore. And inhabitants. Spacers, pirates, and ecliptic mercs are scavenging what's left of human civilization. Now let's take a look at each of these biomes. Thus far, we've been looking at coastal desolation. Now let's try another location. Let's try to find some wasteland. There we go. Let's go to the wasteland in the northern hemisphere. Get out of our ship and look around. We're in the middle of a sandstorm of some kind here. This looks pretty cool. Definitely foreboding. There seem to be way too many landmarks, though. I don't know if this is an issue that is caused by other mods. This is a pretty low mod list that I'm running here, though. Check this out. This is a unexplored geophysical feature. And what is it? It's a burnt something. We'll find out what it is in a second here. Yeah, it's the burnt plateau. And I don't know if this is added by the mod or if it's part of what's natively there, but I really like this. This is the kind of desolate location, although I guess this is technically a wasteland location, so I really like the vibe of this. Just walking around, I got quite an interesting vibe from it. Let's try to find some other biomes to visit. We'll poke around a little bit. What can we find? We've got 2 more to locate. Yes, we'll go to the Icecaps next. So here we are on top of the world. Yeah, this is what we should have had in the base game, I think. You can see with 5 different biomes, you have a chance to see a different look for Earth. And I think each one makes sense. Again, there seems to be maybe too many places nearby. I'm wondering if this is a mod that I had that just, it brings everything in, so any POI that's within a cell is visible. That's probably what's happening. Let's see if we can find another biome. We've got 1 more to visit, and I think that is the Wasted Mountains. And I think I was having trouble finding this, but I was able to scroll up, and I think I'm in Northern Europe. And here we are. This might be my favorite. I really like how this looks. What's up, Vasco? Yeah, check this out. This is a great looking biome here. What really does it for me are those trees. And there's the moon off in the distance. Gotta love Starfield. Astronautically correct. But for me, the trees in this location really do it. I understand that if Earth were completely destroyed, you wouldn't see burnt trees like this, but I think this makes for a much more enjoyable experience. So, great job, the OG Tennessee with this mod. I think this is one that I'm going to keep in my load order. Please let me know if anyone tries this and if you get any conflicts with quests that require you to go back to Earth. For me, this just looks so awesome that I think I want to keep it around. And I don't show it here, but I did build an outpost so I'd be able to return to this location. Or at least I dropped an outpost marker because I liked it so much. Great job. Next, Jars of Life, Placeable Biomes. If you don't want to visit Earth, you can bring Earth and more to your outposts. Jars of Life, Placeable Biomes by modder Tank Girl 444 is available for 500 credits on Creations. It is achievement friendly. This mod adds 29 new portable biomes that you can add to your outpost. In general, you can only add one per outpost. I did some experimentation with them and found in some cases I could place two in one outpost. However, it's easier just to use one. I recommend finding your favorites and adding them one at a time. I think it makes the most sense to use these in desolate locations, like airless moons. When you have nothing nearby, a placeable biome makes sense. Let's take a look at some of my favorites. Here we are in Mountain Peak, and I think this demonstrates some of the best that this mod has to offer. I think the interior design is just awesome. I wanted to find out what it's like at the top, and it's so cool seeing the snow come down. But here I'm going to go to the top of this mountain, and you'll find that because it's a jar, you can't get out past the top, but you can stand on top of this lovely top of the mountain, which is cool. Here's our second one. This is called Great Life Giver. So some of these have themes that extend beyond simple locations. So here, this is sort of a fantasy setting where you can see there's all sorts of fluorescent vegetation, and you could almost imagine that there's some sort of life behind all of this. I really like the hanging decorations, and oh, my character just banged his head up against one of the trees, but you can stand on some of these trees, and there you can see the walls, and you can see the sun off there in the distance. So I really like the imagination that goes behind these placeable biomes. This is a creation that I featured, might have been upwards of a year plus ago, but I didn't really show a lot about it. I just said that I had bought it and that I liked looking at it. But with this one, I wanted to give you a sense of what you'd actually get in these. And this is a creation that I purchased myself for the 500 credits, but I think it's pretty cool. And if you are the type of person who wants to build outposts on various locations, this is something that you could use. And these are fully buildable. You know, inside you could add your own locations, your own seating, your own workbenches, whatever. And there's also a pool in here. So if you want to, we can drop into the water and take a little swim. I thought my character was going to do that in a moment. Probably not the best thing to do wearing a jetpack and pirate gear, but there we go. I know all of us want underwater swimming one day in Starfield. I don't know if we'll get it, but this is a pretty good one. Great Life Giver. Now we'll turn to our next. We'll go from Great Life Giver to the opposite, and because this is a family-friendly channel, I will not use the proper name for this location, but I will call it the Hadescape. And I think just by looking at all the red, you know what I'm talking about. Let's go inside and see what's happening in this biome. This is pretty cool. Check out the little sparkles of flame coming down. Now, I wondered when I walked into the lava, would my character be affected by this? But apparently it's all cosmetic, so no damage being taken. I think that would have been cool. I guess it would have sort of diminished the effect of being able to use this for a player home. But hey, if you're going to be Darth Vader and Mustafar, you might as well have some actual lava in this place. But whatever. I like the combination of the crystals and the bits of fire. Yeah, look at that. You could do some really cool pictures in this location. I think that's what I did the first time I showed this off. So I took some, fire up the boost pack there. Fire up the boost pack. Now, one thing I wanted to demonstrate here was that there are controls in some of these biomes where you can turn on or off different settings. So artificial weather is the setting here, and I just turned it off, and you can see that the last sparks fell from the sky, and now they're not falling anymore. So what a nice touch by modder Tank Girl 444 with this mod. Now my character's stuck a little bit, stuck in the lava. I think we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna turn the artificial weather back on. There we go. Hit that switch, turn it on. And there's usually another control to the right side of the door, and that opens and closes the doors if you want to walk in and close the doors behind you. So very creative with this one, but definitely not one that I would stick around in. We'll run out of there. Let's find out what our next one's going to be. We'll switch from the Hadescape to the Temple of Sol, and this has got a completely different vibe. This is much more peaceful, bright, welcoming, and some really cool animations inside. Let's open that door and check out what's inside. It is a little weird that as you get to the doorway, oh, look at that, we're suddenly in 0G. And I think when I was outside, that orb looked blue, but now inside it looks yellow like our own star, Sol. So this is cool. Love the 0G. Yeah, this is pretty neat. You know, you could almost imagine a situation where modders built quests into each one of these that would require people who built on top of this to have the Jars of Life biome as a requirement, so people would have to buy that first. Oh, I see now. That blue giant is what I saw from the outside, and the yellow star, which is our own sun, I imagine, was always yellow. Oh, my character's just standing around in the water. We'll jump out of that and go someplace that's a little bit drier. Love the aesthetic in here. There's some cool, you know, sort of pseudo Starborn vibes. And when things are lit up like that, that's a mod that I'm using. That's Shades Glowy Stuff. So that means that those plants I could harvest. So if I walked up to it and hit the appropriate key, I could remove whatever's there. I also like the design layout of this creation, that you don't have to boost pack everywhere. There are these nice ramps that you can use to get from one level to another. And the mod description hints at hidden things that you can find in some of these locations. I didn't spend that much time in each one because I kind of wanted to do a survey of my favorites. But here's another example of why this creation is so great, that you can look out through these windows and take a good look at your outpost beyond what the biome is. So that was the Temple of Sol. Now we have a really unique one. This is one of my favorites. Well, these are all my favorites, but this one is kind of over the top favorite. This is called the Scrap Jungle. So let's walk inside and see what that looks like. This to me looks like it could be a POI. I mean, it is a POI. I just mean that if another modder were to build upon it, you could do something cool here. These each have the ability to be customized. So you could pull out your outpost builder and you could start dropping furniture inside this location if you wanted to. Now, one thing you'll notice is that if you do find objects, generally you can't interact with them. Oh, and that's pretty cool. That mech statue. It's giving me Minecraft vibes looking at it, but yeah, this is really neat. And when I see a location like this, it immediately makes me think that you could stage some type of activity here. Yeah, the back of that mech looks really cool. And there's one of my companions out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the NPC spawner danger zone, and I'm going to spawn some Crimson Fleet pirates, just a random amount, random kind, 6 of them. And this is something that I do in locations that I think might be kind of fun, is I just spawn some enemies and then just go into some combat. Now, one thing I noticed was these NPCs didn't quite know what to do. They just stood around. Some of them moved. I don't know if it might be an issue with pathing or what, but yeah, I'm able to dispatch them pretty easily. But I could have tried throwing the grenade to a different part of the location and seeing if they had responded differently. But this relates to a video I had a long time ago called Starfield Make Your Own Fun. And thanks to great mods like NPC Spawner Danger Zone, you can do that. Let's finish up our tour of the Placeable Biomes with the Candy Forest. This is another one that sort of goes into that fantasy realm, but wow, that's really cool. Bright colors, strong building, quite an aesthetic in this location. It makes me wonder, these must have been handmade assets because I don't recall seeing this sort of thing in the game, but very cool. Great job. Thank you, the OG Tennessee and Tank Girl 444 for your work. And thank you to all my subscribers. Please consider subscribing to show YouTube that you enjoy positive and honest Starfield content. Special thanks to all channel members. I hope you're enjoying our private Discord server. If you'd like to know more about membership, click the join button on the channel. There's no obligation. I use your contributions to pay for drives for capturing footage and to buy creations, like this one, to review. What have you been doing in Starfield? Your insights make this channel a place for positive and honest discussion of the game. In addition to videos, I also post to the community tab for this channel on a daily basis. If you subscribe, you'll see these posts in your YouTube feed. If you made it to this part of the video, please leave a comment with the word Biome. Also, remember to ring the bell icon and select all notifications. Check out my other videos, and please tell your friends about the channel. My name is Richard. I will see you in the Starfield.